Greetings, comrades. Today, I'm setting out to investigate what went wrong with my car. Something's happened to the engine of my Humber Super Snipe. The oil level has mysteriously doubled, maybe even tripled, and the dipstick shows that the sump is flooded. Of course, engine oil doesn't just multiply on its own, but the coolant in the radiator has disappeared. Naturally, it found its way into the sump, so the hunt for a leak begins. First step, drain the coolant from the sump and carefully transfer it to a separate container. From there, we'll start analyzing possible failure points. Now, the obvious thing to do would be to pull the cylinder head and check there. But oddly enough, the cylinders seem dry. Then again, you never know. This engine is a side valve flathead, and technically it shouldn't have any oil galleries running into the head. The real trouble is, there's no service manual, no technical layout, no diagrams of the oil or coolant plugs. At least, I haven't found any information on this particular engine. So, I'll have to proceed using the method of elimination, unbolting each part one at a time and inspecting everything carefully for clues. The head will be the first to go. At the very least, we'll clean everything up and replace all the gaskets while we're in there. With hope for a simple solution, I begin the head removal. First, I pull the ignition leads from the spark plugs and label them according to their cylinders so I can easily put each one back in its original place later. Next, I remove anything in the way. Off comes the intake silencer from the carburetor and air filter, the one that deadens sound waves traveling back through the intake system. Then I take off the bakelite shield, protecting the high voltage ignition wires that run from the distributor to the spark plugs. I carefully loosen the one bolt holding it down and move it aside, wires and all. I undo the clamps and remove the hoses connecting the radiator and the pump to the head. Then I unscrew the temperature sensor. It's a mechanical capillary type, always shows the reading whether the ignition's on or off. Next up, the throttle cable. It runs across the top of the head and will be in the way, so off it comes too. Then I remove the hose that carries coolant to the heater, and also disconnect the temperature control cable, the one that regulates the flow of coolant into the cabin heater. Now it's time to remove the oil bath air filter. And finally, the long-anticipated moment, unbolting the head nuts. These nuts probably haven't been touched since before I was even born, so I'll go carefully. Don't want to shear off a stud. I don't have spares, and truth be told, I want to keep the car as original as possible. Every stud counts. Maybe I'm being sentimental, but each of these bolts has outlasted more people than I can count. They've earned their right to stay exactly where they are. So, slowly, patiently, one nut at a time. The next challenge is to somehow lift off the head, which is seized to the studs by oxidation. But that's a story for another time. Or rather, the same story, continued in the next video.